everybody, TK here, and welcome to my unboxing review of the NECA Ultimate Annabelle. I am really excited for this. This is actually the Conjuring figure I have been wanting for the most. I consider Annabelle pretty much the face of the Conjuring franchise. She's always been the first thing I think of when I think of the Conjuring franchise, and my favorite Conjuring movie being the original Conjuring, and Annabelle being a huge part of that movie. Yeah, it's no secret that this is easily my favorite character in the Conjuring universe, so to have a figure of her is really exciting, and I've actually been waiting for this one for a very long time. I've even put this figure on a couple of my wish lists for NECA. I'm really looking forward to getting into this. This is a very exciting figure to me, so yeah, without further ado, let's get into the review of the Ultimate Annabelle from NECA. Starting off, of course, with the packaging, we have a very nice picture of the figure on the front here. That is definitely the figure. That is far too, I don't know, that just doesn't really look like the same, like a shot from the movie, but very cool picture right there. We have Annabelle Comes Home, which, definitely not my favorite Annabelle movie. I guess this is the only movie they could get the license to, would be my guess, but, yeah, I was not a fan of Annabelle Comes Home. I just thought it was very boring. But we have a nice picture of Annabelle on the side here. I actually really like that. Annabelle Comes Home, NECA. On the back, we have a ton of obligatory product shots for the figure right here, looking absolutely awesome. Annabelle Comes Home, couple of little bio right there if you want to read that. Go ahead and pause it, read it on up. On the other side, we have Annabelle Comes Home. On the top, we have Annabelle Comes Home, ages 17 and up, NECA. And if we open up the front flap, here we have a nice, beautiful picture of the figure right there. And here we have the figure in the packaging, surrounded by all of its accessories. This definitely looks like a very cool figure. So without further ado, let's get this opened up and do the full review of the NECA Ultimate Annabelle. So when you get the tray out, there's this little piece of plastic that just comes right off, and the figure is already in her little case when you get— oh my goodness, I already love this figure. I mean, was I expecting anything less? No, but yeah, this is so exciting. So yes, the figure just comes out just like that. We will go ahead and take her out of here, though. I feel like that kind of needs to— oh my goodness gracious, this is just wonderful packaging. This is so nice. So let's take this out of here. This little plastic piece. She is such a tiny one, man. She's not even, like, close to the same size as, like, the Chucky. She's probably around the same size as the Billy. So, we'll definitely compare her to those, and certainly not Sam. She's certainly a lot smaller than Sam. There we go. So this piece— uh-oh, no. Really wish that hadn't happened. Whatever. So, yeah, she just kind of comes out just like that. Okay, this thing is actually really difficult to get out of here, and I really— oh, there we go. Okay, there you go. I was kind of wondering if we're actually supposed to keep this in here, but, yeah, it came out eventually. So we've got another, one of, like, the Guillermo del Toro Pale Man situations going on here, where she kind of has her little plastic chair, holding her onto her actual chair, I should say. So we will just undo this little twist tie right here, and that should be all she wrote. Yeah, so there's our, wow, that chair is absolutely beautiful. I actually thought it was going to be a rocking chair, but I have to say I'm kind of happy it's not a rocking chair, because that sounds like it'd be really annoying to deal with. But, holy crap, this is such a cool one, because she's so tiny. She is so tiny. I actually didn't think she was gonna be, this tiny. I wasn't expecting it. I always thought Annabelle was kind of a bigger doll than what you're used to seeing, with horror dolls. But, yeah, here she is, ladies and gentlemen. So here she is. Here we have Annabelle opened up and out of the packaging, and she looks absolutely amazing. Holy shit. Like I said, I really was not expecting this size. This is so small. This is such a tiny figure. This is like the Mothra figure from the King of the Monsters line. She's just so tiny, and what makes up the manufacturing cost with this figure is the accessories, the glass case and the head sculpts and whatnot, because this figure, man, I can't imagine the manufacturing cost for this figure was like— it took up even $10 worth of the packaging of the product of the product as a whole, I should say. But yeah, she is absolutely phenomenal. Getting in here close on the detail, take a look at that head sculpt. Annabelle always creeps me out, so I am really, really happy that this head sculpt looks absolutely dead on like the doll from the movies. Of course, the first Conjuring movie, and the Annabelle movies, which, let's be honest, only one of the Annabelle movies was any good whatsoever, and that was Annabelle Creation, but still, really love the way this looks. The braids looks phenomenal. This is an absolutely amazing figure. I can already tell you right now. Just look at the way the hair is sculpted right there. Oh my goodness, so cool. I love the little ribbons in the hair right there. So cool. The bow on the little, what is that? Is that like the little kind of corset type thing going on there? Kind of a corset thing going on right there. Pretty freaking cool. And then the arms, super long arms. I actually don't know how long her legs are. Yeah, she's like a porcelain doll, right? Pretty sure she's like a porcelain doll. My sister, back in the young days, my sister used to collect porcelain dolls, so I know a little bit about that. She never had anything this creepy, but she did have some creepy ones, I remember. But yeah. Very, very cool. I love the way this looks. We turn her around. We do have the little, look, oh, this is actually molded plastic. It might look like it's cloth, but this is molded plastic. But the entire gown is actually, cloth. It is actually cloth, which I think was the right idea. This is, similar to what they did with the Ultimate Tiffany. They did give him the cloth, kind of, dress. They also did this with the pinhead as well. So, yeah. Really love the way this looks. Now, pardon me for doing this, but we are going to take a look at what's going on underneath here, take a look at her shoes and whatnot. Yeah, so the body is extremely minimalistic, nothing really go over there, but I do want to take a look at the shoes real quick, and I do feel kind of weird lifting that up like that, but the shoes are very simple as well. They're actually kind of like slipper, don't really match. Well, they're actually, I guess they're like ballet slippers. I guess I guess they do kind of match a little bit, but yeah, always thought the design of Annabelle was super creepy, so yeah, this is almost a dead-on representation, so I'm very happy with the figure itself. But moving on to what I think is the bulk of this figure, let's get into the accessories. So, the case itself, the cabinet that we all know is what the Warrens keep Annabelle in their room of haunted and whatnot artifacts and you know, that kind of stuff. So we do have to do some assembly here, and it doesn't look like it's going to be anything too bad. It really just looks like we're just going to have to pop the cabinet onto this little table thingy right here, although I want to be extremely careful because this cabinet is by far the bulk of the set here. This is such a cool, I actually was really wondering, because in every time I asked for an Ultimate Annabelle, which was pretty often, I always said, I don't really know how NECA could go about making an Ultimate Annabelle because, well, actually, I don't want to do it this way because there's a weird-ass, like, mark going on down there, very noticeable, so I'm just gonna do it this way, actually. Hopefully it's not a big, hopefully it doesn't matter. But, I always wondered, how would NECA go about making up the rest of the manufacturing costs for a figure that's so tiny? How would they be able to sell it and charge the amount that they always do for the Ultimate? So, I was wondering if maybe they would actually include the demon, possibly. The demon that is actually controlling Annabelle that we see in the first Annabelle movie. Oh my goodness, this is quite difficult to get on. I'm gonna do this off camera because I don't want to risk breaking it. Alright guys, so this piece goes on a certain way. It's very not noticeable, but this cabinet is actually kind of tapered in. This bottom part is a little bit wider than the top part. It's just barely noticeable, but it makes a big difference when you're trying to put the pegs in the peg holes. So definitely keep that in mind, because obviously breaking this, that would suck so bad. So yeah, definitely did just want to say that real quick. But yes, anyway, getting back to what I was saying before, I never really would have thought to include the cabinet in such magnitude anyway. This is such a cool idea to go with. Now, if we open the door here, which is very, very nice, we can add of course, the warning, positively do not touch sticker right here. And I'm kind of wondering how this is going to go on here. And also, I will say, this is a little bit wrinkled up, and that does kind of worry me, because if this doesn't look correct, it's going to look kind of crappy. But, hopefully, this is just going to be a matter of just sticking it on there, if I can get it off the paper. Okay, so I've gotten it off the paper, and we're just going to put it at the top where it's supposed to go. Just like... Gotta get it centered. Well, let me close this. It does have some latches. get this nice and centered. It's not really centered. Let's try again. I guess I can do this on camera. There we go, I got it. Definitely be careful when you're putting this on. You definitely want to put it on correctly, because getting that off is going to be a bit annoying, especially, you know, getting it off without actually damaging it at all. It looks like this is just a little bit wonky, but it's not a big deal. But yeah, it's on there. It looks good, I think. I could do without the wrinkling, and I think NECA probably could have gotten away with including 2 of these stickers just in case, but you know, overall, it looks really good. Just be careful when you're putting it on. And there you go. You have assembled the cabinet, which is just awesome. So that is your first accessory. The next accessory we get to go in the cabinet is, of course, the chair for Annabelle to go in, which I actually thought it was a rocking chair, but I guess I was wrong. But that's probably for the best, because that would be, I was wondering how on earth, how annoying and difficult that would be for us displayers and whatnot. But still, absolutely love the way this came out. This is really nice. I love the detail work on the back there. So yeah, really cool. Very well done, sturdy. I definitely think this could take a little bit of a beating. Obviously, you know, don't just like, obviously, you know, be careful with it, but it's definitely not gonna break under like any like kind of normal whatnot. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, cool chair. And I'm sure we can just take the chair and pop it right in there. There we go. Very cool. The next accessory we get is the Miss Me Note, which I'm really happy that they included this, because I don't believe, no wait, was this actually in Annabelle Comes Home? I do not remember Annabelle Comes Home very well at all. I did not like the movie, so, but I think this actually was in Annabelle Comes Home, but obviously I remember the Miss Me Note more from The Conjuring, because, the opening scene of The Conjuring, the Annabelle doll is tormenting these girls with this Miss Me Note, so I think this was such a cool thing to add in there, and I actually didn't know it was included with the figure until until it was actually put up and kind of confirmed, because when they first showed this off at SDCC and I did my video on the SDCC, I said that you could make your own because I didn't think they were including it, but they included it, so I don't know, maybe they watched that video and were like, oh wait, okay, we can throw in a little piece of cardboard, but highly doubt that's what happened, but a super cool addition nonetheless. I'm very happy to have this. And the next accessory we get is an alternate head, which I'm going to bring Annabelle in here because I'm not sure what the difference is quite yet. Okay, so it looks like this one's a little bit more damaged and dirty or something like that. Maybe a bit more possessed, kinda. Pretty cool. I mean, I definitely think I like this one more, and I think I like the other alternate head sculpt more, but yeah, this one's kind of cool. It does look like she's also kind of looking over here a little bit. I don't know, this might be from one of the other movies, because obviously, you know, I feel like if they did an Annabelle, they probably would have included some stuff from the other movies as well. I was actually thinking maybe the not braided cut from Annabelle Creation would be a cool one to include, because there is a point in Annabelle Creation when her hair is free flowing and doesn't have the ribbons in it. So I thought that would have been a cool head sculpt. But they did include the other one that I was thinking of, which is our other head sculpt. They did include the bashed eye head sculpt right there, which I do remember. Also very cool as well. So I really like that they included this one. I think I'm probably gonna have this one on a headstand behind the figure, because I kind of like the default head sculpt the most for sure. But as for switching this out, I would consider being careful with this one. This is such a tiny figure, so we can obviously pop that off and pop on either of the 2 head sculpts. So here is the first one, which I still not sure 100% what this one's going for. It just kind of looks kind of different, a little bit more evil. And I have to admit, this one, honestly, it looks kind of weird on this. I'm gonna say right off the bat that this is probably my least favorite of the head sculpts. But still, I mean, it looks nice. It definitely does, you know. Obviously, I mean, it doesn't make her look not like Annabelle. She's still certainly Annabelle, but let's pop this off. Annabelle has definitely become a horror icon, in my opinion. I definitely feel that Annabelle is the main horror icon of the Conjuring franchise. And then there is the head sculpt with the bashed eye, which I also think looks a little bit weird as well. I gotta be honest, by far my favorite head sculpt is the default one, this one right here. But I will be probably putting the the broken eye head sculpt on a headstand behind the figure. Those are exactly the kind of head sculpts I like to put on headstands behind the figure. Like, for example, with the Halloween 2 Dick Warlock Michael Myers, I put the the bleeding eyes head sculpt on a headstand behind him. That's exactly the kind of, these are the exact head sculpts that I like to do that with, to kind of show the alternate look, but not actually have it on them, because I prefer the default look. But, yeah, very, very cool accessories. See, look how much, just look how much better this one looks on here. I don't know. You guys leave me in the comments down below which one is your, wait, actually, this is not the right one. This is not the right one. I am a dummy. I am a dummy, and now everybody thinks I'm an idiot because I said that one was... Okay, there you go. See, look how much better this one looks. Doesn't it just look better? Doesn't it just look inherently better, especially in, like, the neck area? I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. It's completely possible, but, yeah, this is easily my favorite of the head sculpt, so... Alright, let's bring back in the beautiful, beautiful cabinet. Open the door. I absolutely love that they've made the door with hinges and the latch and whatnot. So cool. And let's get Annabelle in here and get her looking like Annabelle, like we all remember Annabelle. So yeah, she's very easy to sit down, kind of like putting Billy on the tricycles from the Saw figures. So very cool. We will compare her with Billy and the others and the other dolls, of course, like Chucky and whatnot, and Tiffany. But, yeah, obviously, you know, you're gonna need to do some work. The dress is actually pretty thick. I'm not really sure how you're really supposed to get around that, because the dress is so thick in the front here, and you have to get her on there. I'm thinking you probably just have to put the chair back more, and that's probably all there is to it. So let's see here. Let's get her back on the chair here. There we go. Get that. Probably turn the body looking correctly, and then we will put her in here, push her all the way to the back of the cage, just like that. Close the door. It's still not looking perfect, in my opinion. Obviously, you know, you're gonna have to mess with this. I definitely knew I was gonna have to do some work on this figure because of how thick the dress is, but there we go. I do just want to get a nice little look here. So there you go. Obviously, you know, it's going to look pretty good. I'm actually probably going to have her out of the cabinet. In my display, I'm probably going to have the cabinet behind her. So, yeah, that's probably what I'm going to do. But, yeah, obviously, you can get a really great display with her actually in the cabinet. But I am personally leaning more towards having her out of the cabinet and having the cabinet behind her. I think I will, however, have her in the chair, though, because I think the chair works really well on its by itself. And wasn't that in one of the other movies? Wasn't she in the chair and not in the cabinet? I think there was. That might have been the first Conjuring. Now for articulation, our head sculpt is on that standard peg joint that you did see when we removed the head. We'll go ahead and do so again. So once again, the peg joint with the ball joint in the neck. So you can obviously get a really, really great amount of movement in here. You can go up and go down. I think there might be a joint in the bottom of the neck. Yeah, there is definitely a ball joint in the bottom of the neck. You can't get that much movement with it, but it's there, you know, take advantage of it. The arms can do a full 360, and they can go out that far. Beautiful articulation on the arms, I must say. Arms are single jointed, but they can bend a very good amount right there, as you can see there. Hands can bend in, they can bend out, and they can swivel very, very, very nicely right there. The torso can twist right there. Very nice articulation right there. The legs can go forward that far, back that far. Well, actually, they can't really go back at all. So yeah, they can't really go back at all, but you can move up like this. I still feel weird doing this, so let's get that down. And once again, the 90-degree bend at the knee right there, and the feet are on, it looks like a ball joint. It's kind of a weird ball joint, but there is some ankle pivot. Obviously, there is not any reason whatsoever to have Annabelle standing up on her own, because yeah, that's not how the doll works, actually. Of course, if you guys know that Annabelle is not actually supernatural in any way, she is a conduit, something that a demon is using to let its presence be shown. The demon messes with the doll and moves it around so you think it's possessed, but it's actually just a demon. So, yeah, it's just a demon, you know, just your average everyday demon. But, yeah, very cool. So there's not really any reason to have Annabelle standing up on her own. There is not a scene there is not a single scene where Annabelle stands up on her own and moves on her own or whatever. Yeah, it's not that kind of doll. It's not like a Chucky. So guys, I definitely think NECA put some care into the legs here to make sure that the legs would go up far enough to where you could get her to sit down very easily, so I very much appreciate that, NECA. Alright, now for the comparisons. Alright, let's start off with these small guys, of course. I definitely think that's the main thing we're going to want to compare Annabelle to. So, here she is with Billy, of course, from Saw. And I think that these two look really cool together, actually. You can actually see that they're about the same size, actually, if you look at the torso and whatnot. I mean, you know, they're both dolls, they're both puppets. So, yeah, these two look really great together. If you wanted to make a display all about creepy-ass dolls in horror movies, you know, you've got a good start right here. But, of course, let's bring in the OG. The one, the only, the Chucky, obviously. You know, every time people ask me, Chucky or Annabelle, I always tell them it's a ridiculous argument because these are such different characters. I mean, Annabelle isn't even really a character at all, because, once again, Annabelle is not actually possessed at all. She is just a conduit. So, I find this comparison absolutely ridiculous, honestly, because Chucky is a possessed doll that murders people, and this is just a doll that is being used by a demon, and they're not alike at all. So the comparisons between these two need to stop, but they absolutely look awesome together. And I'm gonna bring Billy back in here for just a second. So we can have, in my opinion, the trifecta of creepy, iconic horror movie dolls. I definitely think what you're looking at here is the trio of the most iconic, creepy, horror dolls. So yeah, super cool that we have all these. And of course, we cannot forget about Tiffany. How could we? And as for some other NECA dolls that I've got in the collection, we've got the Marionette Freddy, of course. We've got the Pennywise Jack-in-the-Box, and we've got the 1990 Pennywise doll, both from the accessory set. So yes, we have got a serious collection of creepy-ass dolls in the NECA line right now. So I think that this is a really cool shot right here. I really like this shot. So yeah, those are some comparisons with some other iconic, creepy horror movie dolls. Now for some standard size Ultimate figure comparisons. Here she is with the Freddy vs. Jason, Ultimate Jason Voorhees. Here she is with the Ultimate Part 3 Freddy Krueger. Here she is with the Ultimate Pinhead. Here she is with the Ultimate Leatherface. Here she is with a fellow Conjuring Universe villain, the Crooked Man. And we'll go ahead and bring in Valak as well. So we do have the retro cloth Valak right here. So here is our Conjuring figures at the moment. I definitely think this is shaping up to be a pretty cool line, but I still think we need Bathsheba Sherman, the witch spirit from the first Conjuring movie. In my opinion, if we could get that character, I think we would have all the Conjuring villains that we really need. Obviously, you know, there's the more obscure ones, like the ones from Annabelle Comes Home, which were not memorable at all in my opinion. And there is, of course, the freaking, how could I forget? Okay, yeah, the Curse of La Llorona, that one, that was a Conjuring Universe movie, so yes. There are still some more we could get, but personally, I really just think the only one that we really need to get still is the only one that's missing from this collection, because these are such great figures. All three of these, I'll tell you right off the bat, are absolutely amazing figures. Those are the only other one that I think we really need is Bathsheba Sherman, so here is our current Conjuring figures. I think they look absolutely awesome together. And I completely forgot about Sam. Here she is with Sam, another tiny Ultimate figure, but definitely, you know, substantially bigger than her. And here she is with the Pennywises. We've got the Bill Skarsgård Pennywise over here, and the 1998 and the 1990 Pennywise over there. Here she is with my custom Ultimate 1978 Michael Myers. And here she is with the Cult Classic Series 5 Jigsaw, and we will bring Billy back in here as well. So there she is with the Cult Classic Series 5 Jigsaw, another James Wan villain. And just a couple retro cloth comparisons. Here she is with the I don't know why I said 19. The Candyman, the retro cloth Candyman. And here she is with the retro cloth Ghostface. And one more, here she is with one of the trick-or-treaters from the Halloween 3-pack. Just cause, once again, tiny figure, feel like it's a good comparison. Now for our showcase. I'm gonna level with you guys. I had a really hard time coming up with the poses for this showcase. This character, like, barely ever even does anything in the movie, so if I feel like doing any real poses with her would just look weird. So, yeah, had kind of a hard time with this. But overall, I am very happy with this figure. I really like this. This is probably my favorite Ultimate figure of 2020 right now, tied with the Pinhead. But I would say I like this one a little bit more than Pinhead. Just because I've been wanting this character for a long time, and granted, you know, I wanted the Pinhead for a long time too, but unlike with Pinhead, I actually had one of the older Pinhead figures, so that is probably why I might be a little bit more happy with this one, because this is a character I never had before, and in my opinion, this is absolutely a horror icon and a character, well, character, I use the term character lightly in this case, that I feel every horror I feel every horror fan needs to add this one to the collection, because here's my thing. I feel like Valak and Crooked Man, they were kind of easy skips for people who didn't really care about the Conjuring universe, but I feel like this character has earned her place, well, character, once again, I use it lightly, but I feel like this icon has earned her place in the horror books, and I feel like this is definitely one that you need to pick up if you're a horror fan and you like collecting the horror icons. I feel like this is the main Conjuring figure that you need to get for the collection, because she's such a recognizable character from the movies. Even people who've never seen The Conjuring know who Annabelle is. So yeah, definitely think she's a pickup. However, I do have issues with her. One thing you can literally see right now is the entire thing that the way this is thought out is not well thought out. It is really hard to get her in this case and have her sitting straight and have her look really, really good, because the dress is incredibly difficult to work with. It does have a bendy wire at the bottom, which is very nice, a very nice addition that I did not point out in the review, so I apologize for that, but it was still so hard to get her in a pose that looked really nice in here and get the door to close. The door, it doesn't want to close, man. I mean, it closes fine without her in it, obviously, but yeah, definitely an issue of mine. Luckily for me, I am definitely planning on displaying this figure not in the case. I definitely think that is how I'm going to go for the display and have the case in the background, but still, I do really like this figure. I would absolutely give this a huge recommendation, because this is a horror icon that I feel deserves to be in your collection, but obviously, you know, every NECA figure is not without its flaws. You guys, like, I do get hate sometimes for saying, like, oh yes, NECA figures have flaws, guys. They do. Whether you like it or not, they do. And this one, like, there is not one NECA figure out there that I think is devoid of having flaws, except for maybe just a couple, but we're not going to get into that right now. I do think this figure has flaws. It is kind of staring you right in the face right now. It's going to be really difficult to get this figure in a way. If you want to display her in the case, like I'm sure a lot of people will, good luck getting her looking nice and having her not pushed up against the glass, or getting the dress looking nice. I mean, it's going to take some work. So, there you have it, everybody. That is my review for the Ultimate Annabelle. I like this one. I would definitely recommend it. Definitely pick this one up. But, yeah, obviously, once again, like every single review, you have to keep in mind that there are flaws with these figures, and there isn't really any way around that. I'm not really blaming that on NECA, but I don't feel like there's any way around that. So yes, that is that. As for the final rating for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one an 8 out of 10. I think I did give that the same rating to the Halloween 3-pack. So, yeah, 8 out of 10 for this one. I think is a good score for it. I do really like the figure itself. I absolutely love the Annabelle figure itself. Honestly, all my flaws are really just with the case, and that was definitely gonna have some issues, I thought. I definitely expected there to be some issues with the case, and I also don't think the case is perfect. It does actually look like there might be some issues going on with the case. I mean, like, actually, like, position-wise. So, for those reasons, I am going to say 8 out of 10, but definitely recommend this one. I do really like the figure itself, so, which is obviously the thing I'm scoring, the biggest thing I'm scoring here, so. Figure itself is great. So yes, everybody, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more NECA content, and this is DK Gilzine, signing out.